What's going on, guys? Bachman's Garage back at you again. I'm going to try to keep this video as short as possible. A few days ago, I think maybe even about a week ago, I introduced a new bike to the fleet, and it is a 2011 Harley-Davidson Fatboy Low. I got this off of my next door neighbor's father. He was a retired veteran, and he can no longer balance very well, and he doesn't have the strength in his legs to hold this motorcycle up anymore. So I've done very few minor things to it as far as like kind of dressing it up. I've removed the chrome piece on the front of the fender. There's currently 3 little holes still drilled in the fender. I'm going to try to figure out what I can do with those because that chrome piece was just not doing it for me. I removed a chrome piece in the rear. And no, it did not cover this blemish, which I'm going to try to do something about that as well. But it had like a weird shape on this side. I removed his license plate, obviously. I removed the quick detach rack and sissy bar just because I didn't like the way it looked. I am going to put a sissy bar back on this eventually, just don't know which one I want yet. I'm going to plan on changing these from chrome to black. I don't know the technical term for them. I've been calling them like fender support brackets or like fender mount brackets. I have the part numbers for everything I plan on changing, and I have a laundry list of stuff that I would like to change on the bike. But this is how I have it, just for temporary, so that way if I can get it, whenever I can get it legal and on the road, you know, inspected, insured, licensed, registered, etc. This is at least how I can ride it for now. It's perfectly usable, it's perfectly safe, and it's still passenger accessible. It's got pegs in the seat if I need to take a passenger. If my girl wants to go for a little ride, I can do that. So it's perfectly rideable, it's perfectly safe, all the equipment's there. I recently just got it running about 2 days ago. Every component in the gas tank basically needed replaced. There's a few things in there that I actually managed to clean up, and the tank itself I managed to clean up. And just to kind of kill 2 birds with 1 stone, I didn't like the way the gauge looked, and I wanted to change them out to black anyway, but I wanted something a little bit more modern. So I got these black gas caps. They have a little bit of knurling on the side. It's very mild. I got a black gas cap and a fuel gauge to match, but the fuel gauge has 6 LEDs. Now, I'm currently fighting a little bit of an issue with fuel level, but I was also told that these gauges can be very finicky, and I'm thinking from the guy that had it prior to me, he might have just tweaked the float just a little bit and it's not reading correctly. I have approximately 4 gallons of fuel in this, and it's saying I have right around half. If I'm not mistaken, this tank is only like 5 gallons. Maybe 6, I can't remember for sure. I'm pretty sure it's 5 or like 4 point something, but I should have more than half a tank, so I'm thinking there's something still wrong with my float. Worst case scenario, I'll have to buy 10 new screws, a new gasket, and then maybe a float assembly. I think the float assemblies are kind of expensive, but if I have to do it, I have to do it. It is what it is. But yeah, as of right now, the bike is rideable. I have 2 oil lines on the tank that I do have. I plan on replacing it. I'm just waiting on clips. It doesn't really leak, but it will drip a couple of drops every other day. So if it actually drips out a quarter of a quart in a month, that's about what it's been. But I do plan on replacing them. I'm just waiting for the clips to come in from Harley. I have both the lines right here. One's literally just an extension piece. It's not even leaking yet, it's just dry rotted, but I'm gonna do them at the same time. And this is one to actually drain the tank, and it's leaking right up here, somewhere either at the mouth of it or at the bend. I can't remember. I can't really see in there very well, but we're gonna get that addressed as well. Just figured I would show you guys before I do start it so you can hear it. It is ice cold. I have not started it today at all. It ran yesterday. Look, no shield on this side of the pipe. Perfectly cold. It has a modified airbox. The guy before me cut out the airbox around the back of the housing here, and he put a K&N air filter in it. So that is the only thing performance-wise that has been done to this bike so far. These are stage 2 factory, like this is basically stock but these slip-ons on the end are like a factory upgrade, like a stage 1 or whatever. I don't think they're supposed to make it any louder because this bike is fairly quiet. Now the camera probably won't do its justice. If anybody knows exactly how a 96 twin cam engine sounds, it's fairly quiet for what it is. I'm still having a little bit of fuel issue bugs. I think the injectors are a little clogged yet, but I've got injector cleaner in there. Let's try her again. A little bit of spitting and sputtering. I think it has, it's gonna need spark plugs for sure, but I put 2-stroke oil in the tank to prevent flash rusting, and I think there's just a little bit of 2-stroke oil in there yet that has managed to work its way into the fuel enough to kind of foul out the plugs. It's just got that little bit of spit into it. But if I run it like this for 2 or 3 minutes, it clears up perfectly fine. And then as soon as I let it idle, it'll idle perfectly for, 10, 20 minutes. I let it run for 10 or 20 minutes the other day. See, it's kind of stabled itself out. I think it just needs a run, and it needs a new set of plugs, and definitely probably a better air cleaner. But I'm gonna do pipes and other stuff to it in the future. Just figured I'd show you a little update. It's the first update on the Harley, so at least it's rideable now, and I should be able to get it inspected and whatnot within the next couple of days and actually start using it. Thanks for watching, guys. Hope you enjoyed.